There's a sleeping warrior inside you. Wake it up. Welcome to Live Stoic, Live Strong. What if I told you the strongest version of yourself is already inside you, buried beneath fear, hesitation, and noise? You haven't met that version yet. Not fully. But it's been waiting for you to stop looking outside and start reclaiming what's always been yours. Because the truth is this: real strength is quiet. It doesn't shout. It doesn't need permission. And it begins the moment you stop performing and start waking up. There is a version of you, clear, calm, and unshakably strong, that's been buried under layers of fear, doubt, and hesitation. And here's the hard truth. That version is tougher than anything life could ever throw at you. But you haven't fully met them yet. Not because you can't, but because the world taught you to search in the wrong places. We were trained to seek validation outside, to chase confidence through titles, approval, performance, perfection. We were taught that strength comes from dominance, that the louder you are, the more powerful you must be. But the Stoics knew better. They understood what we've forgotten. Real power is not loud. It doesn't need to be seen to exist. It lives quietly, internally, rooted deep in resilience. It doesn't beg for applause. It doesn't need to prove anything. It simply is. You're not fragile. You're not broken. And you're definitely not done. This isn't a video to make you feel better. It's here to wake you up. To remind you that strength isn't something you chase. It's something you already hold. Because the truth is, you are stronger than you think. And maybe it's time you started living like it. Habit 1. The lie you've been told. We've been sold a subtle, persistent lie. It sounds like this: strong people never break. They're always winning, always smiling, always standing tall. And if you're not, if you're tired, uncertain, overwhelmed, then you must be weak, right? Wrong. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic minds, a Roman emperor who led through plagues, wars, betrayals, never pretended to have it all together. He struggled with anger, with fatigue, with his own thoughts. And yet, he led with calm, with reason, with principle. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's not just philosophy. That's survival. Real strength doesn't come from pretending you're fine. It comes from facing the storm head on and choosing integrity anyway. It means getting up when everything in you wants to give up. It means staying grounded when your emotions are begging you to lash out. It means responding with clarity, even when everything around you is spinning in chaos. That's the kind of strength Stoicism teaches, the quiet kind, the invisible, immovable kind. And it starts when you stop performing for the world and start building solid ground inside yourself. Habit 2. Strength is built, not found. Everyone wants to feel strong, but very few want to become strong. Why? Because becoming strong is uncomfortable. It's inconvenient. It hurts. It means stepping straight into the hard stuff, willingly, facing your ego, calling out your own excuses, letting go of the fantasy that one day life will magically become easier. Thank you for staying with Live Stoic, Live Strong. It means you're seeking more than words. We're here for that journey with you. Seneca said it best: difficulties strengthen the mind, just as labor strengthens the body. But in the modern world, we flee from discomfort like it's poison. We numb it, scroll past it, outsource it. And in doing so, we run not just from pain, but from our potential. Stoicism flips that script. Discomfort is the forge, And you don't read your way into strength, you live your way into it. It means showing up even when you're exhausted. Choosing calm when you feel misunderstood. Staying focused when life feels deeply unfair, because it will. Strength isn't revealed when the waters are calm. It shows up in the storm. And when you stay true, when you hold your values even when everything gets heavy, that's when strength is no longer something you pretend to have. That's when it becomes something you are. And this is just the beginning. In the next part, we'll explore what it really means to own your time, and how the Stoics turned each day into a sacred opportunity. Not something to survive, but something to honor. Let's keep going. You've already learned that strength isn't found, it's built. And sometimes, that strength is forged, not in triumph, but in pain. Habit 3. You've already survived worse. Take a deep breath. Now pause. And go back. Back to a moment that hurt. The heartbreak that broke you open. The failure that made your confidence crumble. The betrayal that made you question everything. That one moment when you whispered to yourself, "I won't survive this." But look at you now. Maybe you're not where you thought you'd be. Maybe you're still healing. Maybe some days still feel heavy. But you're here. Still breathing. Still thinking. Still growing. Most people forget that part. They remember the pain, the loss, the fear, but they forget the resilience, the sheer force of will it took to carry that weight and keep moving. You didn't survive by accident. You didn't get lucky. You survived because something deep inside you, a quiet, steady, stubborn strength, refused to give up. Epictetus once said, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." Your scars? They're not flaws. They're evidence. Proof. Markings of everything you've walked through, endured, and overcome. Proof that you've already done what once felt impossible. So why would you doubt yourself now? You've already walked through fire. You've already faced nights that felt endless. You've already lived through the storm. So now, walk like someone who has. Habit 4. The battle is internal. We think our battles are out there, with our jobs, with our families, with money, with time, with the past. But the Stoics saw clearly. The real enemy is much closer. It's that quiet voice in your head, the one that whispers, "Don't bother." That sneers, "You'll fail." That feeds on fear, regret, comparison, and disguises itself as logic. But here's the truth. That voice, it's not you. It's just a habit. A collection of old beliefs built from doubt, criticism, and smallness, repeated too many times. You've heard it for so long you think it's your own. But it isn't. It's residue. And you don't have to listen to it anymore. You don't control the world. But you do control whether you obey that voice or rise above it. Stoicism doesn't erase fear. It trains you to stop bowing to it. It teaches you to act with courage, not because you feel fearless, but because you choose what's right, even when fear is screaming. Because that is what real courage looks like. Doing what must be done, especially when it's hard. And courage, practiced over time, becomes strength. Habit 5. The path forward. So, now what? Now, you move forward. Not with arrogance, but with calm conviction. The Stoic path isn't about being perfect. It's not about having the answers or never falling down. It's about showing up. It's about commitment. It's about choosing your values again and again, even when life is anything but easy. You don't need a grand strategy. You don't need to control every outcome. You just need to take one clear, honest step at a time toward discipline, toward clarity, toward courage. Some days, you'll feel weak. That's okay. Some days, you'll fall short. That's okay too. What matters is this: you come back. You return to what's true. You remember what's inside. And every time you do, every time you choose self-control over indulgence, truth over silence, courage over complaint, you are proving something to yourself. Again and again, you are stronger than you think. And in the next part, you'll see what happens when this quiet strength isn't just practiced, but tested, in the middle of noise, pressure, and real-life chaos. Let's step into it together. You've already survived storms that would have broken others, and you're still here. That's not luck. That's strength. And it's not because life has been kind or easy or fair. It's because something inside you chose to stand when everything around you said fall. You've already walked through weight most people would have collapsed under. So let's make one thing clear. You don't need to prove your worth. Not to the world. Not to anyone. Not even to yourself. Stoicism teaches us a kind of strength that doesn't scream. It doesn't demand applause or recognition. True strength is silent. It lives in how you carry yourself when no one's watching. It shows up in the way you respond when things get hard, when the easy way out is tempting, but you choose principle instead. That's power. Every single morning that you wake up with doubt in your chest, but still choose to face the day. That's strength. Every time you resist the chaos pulling at you and choose discipline over distraction, that's power. Real power. So don't let your mind lie to you. Don't let fear narrate your life story like it knows the ending. It doesn't. Because strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just not breaking. Sometimes it's showing up again, even if you're tired, even if you're scared, even if you don't know what comes next. Sometimes strength looks like a quiet decision made in private, to stay kind, to stay focused, to stay true, even when no one sees it, especially when no one sees it. That's Stoicism. That's the strength that lasts. And if you just keep walking, step by step, with discipline, with clarity, with virtue at your side, you'll start to realize something powerful. You've always had everything it takes. Thank you for your time. If one idea touched you today, come back next time. It may reach deeper. Share this with someone who needs a quiet moment. See you in the next video.